What's the secret? Come on, you could do it. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it was a family secret. No. Just like that. You spill the secret family recipe today. Maybe you spill a little something about me tomorrow.
Look at his face.
Welcome back. You are hanging with the Herons. My name is James. This is another 365 movies in 365 days in 3 minutes and 65 seconds. Black Mass. The funny thing about this movie is I've seen it twice. I don't remember anything from it. I've fallen asleep both times at the end and it erases everything that I remember seeing. Before I jumped into today's episode, I did go ahead and watch the preview as well as a couple of clips. I still didn't quite remember everything. I do remember it's very intense, and I do remember there's one scene in particular that I very much liked. There's a very intense scene at the house of John Connolly, but that scene, I think it was also in theaters as well, really intense. For a non-horror type flick, it's pretty scary. I saw the previews, I watched it, I read up a little bit on the character. I love based on true stories. Very intense, well put together film. I just can't talk too much about it because I keep forgetting what happens and I keep falling asleep before I finish the film. Both times, but I do own it. Humongous cast. So Johnny Depp, our star, really goes through some amazing transformations, and he did try to reach out to James Bulger. Wasn't really able to connect with him, but connected with a lot of other people that he says was very helpful in shaping that character. And then through prosthetics, hair and makeup, contacts, they were able to really form the character. He does a great job. Joel Egerton, Benedict Cumberbatch, Kevin Bacon, Dakota Johnson, Peter Sarsgaard, Jesse Plemons, Rory Cochrane, David Harbour, Adam Scott, Corey Stoll, Julianne Nicholson gives a really great performance, and they all do a really great job in their role, and it's a very compelling story to continue to watch. I do remember that from watching it both times. It's very methodical in its approach. Let's get to those quickfire facts. It's going to be a little bit different. Instead of quickfire facts, this is more of myth versus reality. Bulger's first crime was at the age of 14, and he actually did run away to join the circus after committing that crime and became a roustabout. Despite his reputation as a good guy and kind of cleaning up the south streets of Boston, what they call Southie, he did actually sell quite a bit of drugs, at least allegedly. I think he really had this role of Robin Hood, and he often refuses to admit that he ever flipped on anyone or was considered a rat. However, he did work with the FBI from 1975 to 1990. I don't know how you want to look at it in the way that it's kind of portrayed in the film. He kind of did this to only benefit himself and actually get away with some more crimes as well. Speaking of the crimes that he did get away with, he did actually commit lots of murders, always claimed that he never murdered anyone innocent, always kind of bad guys essentially. However, he did actually kill an innocent bystander in the means of shooting up another rivals or enemies or bad guys. Despite his involvement in crime and drugs and that whole world, he actually lived a very healthy life. Probably one of the strongest drinks he had been drinking was ginger ale. That was typically the hardest thing you'd see him drink, and then he worked out frequently as well. So there was a time he actually did do drugs, however, it was to lessen his prison sentence, so he actually allowed the prison system to test out psychotropic drugs on him, LSD, and he was able to reduce his sentence by 54 days, and he actually got paid for it as well. He received $3 per injection, which is very fascinating. So thank you so much for joining me again. My name is James. You've been hanging with the Herons. This has been another 365 movies in 365 days in 3 minutes and 65 seconds. If you've seen it already, tell me what you can remember from it, because clearly I can't remember anything. And if you haven't, go watch it, check it out, and then do the same thing. As always, peace.